Okay, so I think we have a very good list, and this is more than enough. So whether you're a newbie investor or you're a seasoned investor, these are always challenges. Okay, so now the question is, how can you overcome these obstacles and build a rental empire to increase your net worth 3 times as much and double your income? So what is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to focus on to be able to overcome these scenarios? Okay, and then I'm gonna give you the answer because what we've done in the last 2.5 years, we've done over 32 rentals. So guess what? Obviously, we come across all of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the answers and how to overcome these roadblocks so that you jumpstart to a very successful career in real estate. Okay, so we're going to start with money. Okay, so absolutely, to be in real estate, even if you start doing wholesaling, because you have 3 exit strategies in real estate. You either wholesale, fix and flip, or buy and hold. Okay, you have 3 exit strategies. Most people who don't have enough resources, guess what? They start doing wholesaling thinking that they don't need any money to start with, but guess what? That's a misconception. To be able to do wholesales, you need to have lead generation. You need to have a lead pipe of sellers. Okay, for you to do that, you're going to need to do door knocking, mailers, bandit signs, cold calling. Therefore, you do need to have an investment. So if you're going to do wholesaling, you're going to need at least 5,000, okay, in reserves for marketing. Okay, now if you want to move on to fix and flip and buy and hold, which is buy and hold is the long-term wealth strategy in real estate, building a portfolio to generate passive income. Okay, so that you can achieve that financial freedom. Now for these, you're going to need reserves. There's no way around that unless you have a partner. So I'm going to give you what you need, and then I'm going to give you the shortcut of how you can get around that. Okay, so if you're going to do fix and flip and buy and hold, guess what? You're going to need at least $15,000 to $25,000, okay, for reserves. Not only for the upfront purchase, for the rehab, and on the back end, if you are going to buy and hold the property, you're going to need to refinance the property. If you, for instance, when you buy the property, you use hard money lenders or private money lenders to give you the money for the purchase and the rehab, you need to pay them off, right? So you're going to need to refinance the property with a conventional lender, and they're going to ask you for reserves. Whether you go the residential route or the commercial route, they want to see reserves. So now the question is, how do you get around that? I'm going to give you the answer, how you can do deals with zero money down. Okay, so let's focus on the money part. The solution for this, if you don't have 5,000 or let alone 15 to 25,000, then the only option that you have is to partner up. Okay, you need to partner up with somebody who's got the money. Okay, that's the only way around, where they put in the money, and then what you're going to do is you are going to find the deal and manage the rehab. Okay, so somebody's going to put the money and you will find the deal and do the rehab. Okay, that's the only way that it's going to work out for you, so that you have zero money out of pocket. We've done our last 3 deals, we had zero money out of pocket. In fact, let's not go back 3 deals, our last 3 deals. Our current deal that we're doing in Morton Grove. Okay, Morton Grove, we bought the property for $220,000. The rehab is going to be somewhere in the 25 plus closing expenses. So all in is $250,000. Okay, $250,000. Now, if you want to finance this transaction, guess what? You're not going to need 15 to 25,000. You're going to need at least 50,000 in reserves. So the question is, how did we put zero out of pocket, yet we're doing a deal that is worth $250,000? the key is partnerships. And to do partnerships, you need to know people. And guess what? That is why we created CASHFLOW Inner Circle. Okay, CASHFLOW Inner Circle is a deal makers group, okay? Where we do trainings, we show you the A through Z blueprints on how to do buy and holds and fix and flips. Okay, so you've got to belong to that group because that's just the fastest shortcut for you to not only learn, but also have access to the right resources to be able to partner up if you don't have the resources. So in this case, this is what the partnership looks like. We, or myself, provided the deal and we're gonna manage the project. In exchange, we're getting 100% of the money for the purchase, for the rehab, closing expenses, and when we sell the property, we go 50-50. So we have to obviously pay off 250 for expenses, and whatever is left, we go 50-50, okay? So that is the way around not having any money, okay? So you've gotta know the right people who have reserves, and you do have to come up with the deal and the rehab, which we're gonna talk about next, okay? How do you find the deal? How is it that you in this market that you have a shortage of inventory, you're still doing deals? Let's move on to the second and most important point, deals. Because guess what? You may have all the money of the world, because by the way, today there's more money to be lent than deals to be found. So unless you have a deal, you could have millions, you won't be able to do anything. So how do you find deals? Two ways. Through technology, okay, software, where you can find off-market properties, because you have the option to find deals in the MLS and then off-market. MLS, obviously, everyone sees those deals, so they're extremely competitive. Off-market, they're technically not for sale. So your focus should be off-market to find great deals. Another way is to be part of the Wholesale Inner Circle group. Okay, so now we create another group that all we do is have at least, we have probably 70, 75 people. All they do is become acquisition specialists. So they do door knocking, bandit signs, cold calling, to get in touch with the sellers to try to get these off-market deals on the contract at the right price. Okay, so in fact, we did a blast. Many of you might have gotten an email for a property in a stager that we got on the contract for $50,000. Okay, so the question is, how do you find these deals? There's no other way, but you've got to focus on off-market. Okay, so if you belong to the Wholesale Inner Circle group, we show you how to approach FSBOs, for sale by owners. That's what it stands for. Bandit signs, cold calling, how to do probate, mailers, pre-foreclosure, how to do door knocking. So we show you how to get in touch directly with the sellers via mailers, phone calls, text messages. So you need to have the tools, resources, the scripts, okay, for you to be able to have access to off-market deals. And obviously you also need the software like ChicagoDealVault. We have probates, pre-foreclosures, upcoming auctions, banked on properties, or REOs. So they're all off-market properties. They're technically not for sale. So you do need to have access to those type of deals. Because we've been buying properties in the last 2.5 years, primarily off-market, okay? Over 70% of our inventory is from off-market. Why? Because that's where you can find the biggest spreads, okay, of equity. Let me give an example. Like we had a problem with a tenant not too long ago. It was this week that I had to go to the property in Elmwood Park, okay, because there was a shooting. Elmwood Park, it's an A neighborhood, okay, but we had a shooting, second shooting, in the last 3 months in that property. So I got a phone call from the village and they said, Hugo, you've got to do something with these tenants because they're bringing troubles to the neighborhood. And the village is having issues with the neighbors. So they said, you've got to do something. So we met up yesterday, went to met the tenant with the village inspectors and so forth. And then I told them, listen, you've got to move by the end of next month, July. They were okay with it. So now the question is, that property, we bought it for 150,000. Okay, it's in Elmwood Park. We put in 50,000, so all in 200,000. That property is worth 300,000, and we got that property from shadow inventory. So shadow inventory means REOs, banked on properties that we have access through ChicagoDealVault. So we get weekly, we get about 100, 150 REOs that we can buy directly from the bank. So to have access to deals, you need technology, meaning the lead pipes from all the off-market possible lead pipes that you can get your hands on. Probates, meaning that somebody dies and somebody else, the heirs, get the property, so you can buy the property from the heirs. Pre-foreclosures, people in financial distress, unable to pay the mortgage. Banked on properties, banks repossess the properties. They're not in the business of real estate, they're in the business of lending, so they just want to dispose of the real estate, so that's another lead pipe. Motivated for sale by owners, so you do need to have access to the lead pipes through the software, plus belong to a group where all they do is being acquisition specialists, okay, dealing with sellers off market. That relates to deals. If you're only focusing on the MLS, it's extremely competitive, and as you know, people are overpaying for the properties, paying above asking price 10, 15, 20, 30,000. It's insane. We sold the property about a week ago. We put it on the MLS for 260 in Des Plaines. We sold it for like 290, $3,000 above asking price. It's just insane. We appraised the property for a refinance in Streamwood. Last November, it appraised for like 198. 2 weeks ago, it appraised for 253. I mean, 50,000 increase in 6 months. It's mind blowing, right? So again, that's what happens when you focus on off-market properties, properties that are technically not for sale. And again, you've got to belong to the wholesale group or have access to the software technology like ChicagoDealVault, that we have all these leads. But the question is, will having access to the software suffice? Absolutely not, okay? By joining the CASHFLOW and the wholesale group, we show you step by step how to approach those sellers, right? Because you need to know how to identify their motivation, right? Are they a hot lead, warm lead, cold lead? Are they ready to sell in the next 30 to 60 months? What is it that you're going to tell them? How are you going to build rapport? And most importantly, make them an offer. But to make them an offer, you need to understand what the property's ARV is, what the rehab or scope of work is, and finally, the most you should pay for the property so that it's a fair deal for them and for you. So that's what we show you, right? So it's not only having access to deals, but knowing how to get them on the contract, right? For people who focus on MLS, to be able to get a property on the contract through the MLS, you're going to need to, if you're not paying above asking price, you're going to need to pay cash, close in 2 weeks, and have 10,000 in earnest money, and buy the property as is, waiving all inspection contingencies. Is how competitive the market is today. So don't try to force a square peg in a round hole, right? Don't try to force a deal. It just needs to be right for you, for your exit strategy, and you're going to have more flexibility when you focus on off-market deals, okay? Now, time and strategy. Time is critical, right? So you do have to have the discipline to spend at least half an hour to an hour on a daily basis to not only sharpen your saw, but you're going to be making money in real estate when you engage in 3 activities. When you make offers, when you talk to sellers, and listing agents or brokers. That's when you're going to be making money. So if you want to maximize your time for your return on investment, you've got to be making offers. Okay, now to be able to make offers on properties, guess what? We need to go back to the 2 topics we talked about earlier. How are you going to make an offer on a property that you don't even know if it's a good deal, right? So you do need to have access to the lead pipes right? Be part of a wholesale group that they have a first-hand look at the properties they get on the contract, okay? And you've got to know the right people to partner up. So that is why we form this community, okay, for you to partner up, to find the right resources, and most importantly, when you belong to the CASHFLOW Inner Circle group, we have a group of private money lenders, okay, that are willing to lend money on your deal. So you don't even need to build rapport or get to know them. We have already done that for you. The only thing that you are required to have is a great deal, and you need to have reserves, because we want to make sure that if we give you the loan, on the back end, you're able to refinance successfully and pay off the loan. But if you don't have the reserves, as I told you, your only other option is to find a partner that will provide the money. Okay, that's the easiest and fastest way. Okay, and that's what the groups and the communities are for. We have members with hundreds and thousands of dollars sitting in the bank. Okay, they're just waiting for somebody to bring them a deal. So you've got to become a deal acquisition specialist. That's where your time and focus should be, trying to find good quality properties in good neighborhoods. Okay, that's what's going to bring you and make you money in real estate. Anything else that you focus on may be required and necessary, but it's not going to make you any money. That is why we want to provide our infrastructure to help you focus on what's important in real estate. I don't want you to deviate your time from the overhead that is required, such as marketing, putting all the pieces together knowledge-wise, right? So we're going to give you the strategy. This is what was brought up before. We're going to give you the strategy to either engage in wholesaling, fix and flip, or buy and hold. And then somebody else said, contractors, absolutely. That's the biggest nightmare for all investors. Even the bad ones are busy right now, and they're expensive. They're not cheap. In fact, we deal with two crews of contractors. One of the crews, one of the top guys, is on vacation for the next 2 months. So we're not taking big rehabs over 35,000 and less than 50,000. We're putting on hold because he's out on vacation for the next 2 weeks. Because I know that if we give them a project, he's going to run with it, and we're hands-free. We don't need to babysit this GC. So we're just taking smaller projects right now with the other crew, okay, that we still need to be a little bit more hands-on. But yeah, contractors, if there's somebody that you need to have in your team that you need to build great rapport with, is a GC, okay? Because let me make the distinction. You need to work with a licensed insured general contractor that he's got access to licensed plumbers and licensed electricians. For rehabbing properties, okay, you cannot have handyman rehab properties. Handymen typically don't have a license, they don't have a permit, they don't do work up to code, and that's going to cost you a lot more money. They're amazing for repairs, maintenance, that's about it, not for rehabbing properties. When you rehab properties, you've got to pull permits for electric, plumbing, windows, roof, HVAC, and for that, you've got to hire the right people. Else, when people try to not pull permits and then hire somebody who does not understand the code, in the long run, it's going to be more expensive. So you think you save the pennies, but you're going to end up spending the dollars down the road. So be very, very cautious, and you've got to spend the time. In ChicagoDealVault, we give you access to, like, I'm thinking 9 to 10 GCs that we've used in the past. So make sure that you build rapport. And not only that, but to find a great GC, you have to have references. Somebody else that has successfully used that GC, okay? You need to go by references. And then they need to do good quality work on time and on their budget, okay? Because there are some good ones that charge an arm and a leg, and obviously it's gonna break your numbers. So I agree with you, that's everybody's nightmare. When you come across a good one, you've got to take care of them. Make sure that you pay them on time every Friday or whenever they complete the work. It's done on a, I would say, on a milestone basis or project basis, but you do need to take care of them once you find somebody that is reliable, Okay, that's super, super important. Um, so the question is, these are the major roadblocks. How can you jumpstart right away? How can you become successful right away and overcome these major obstacles in real estate? We're holding the meeting. The wholesale meeting is held every Tuesday at 6:30. Okay, this is for wholesaling. If you want to do flips and buy and hold, we meet every Sunday at 1 p.m. Okay, so we're going to give you free access for the next meeting. So all you need to do is send us an email to support at ChicagoDealVault.com, DealVault.com, and we're going to send you a free link information, and I'm going to share with you what the training is like. Let me share my screen. I'm going to share with you both groups. So we have this is the wholesale. Okay, when you join this wholesale group, I know many of you, we have several success stories. We are going to put you in a group. Okay, you're going to be in a team. You're going to have a team lead. So as you can see, we have over 70 people. You're going to be having a team lead that has more experience. Obviously, you can work across teams, reach out to any team member, but they're going to be there for your support. And most importantly, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to find people that you can network with to partner up. We do speed networking events, okay? And then in here, this portal will show you the different modules that we cover. So under every module, we have sub-modules, okay? We go through every single one. We do deal reviews on every meeting and go through deal analysis, okay? Now the cash flow, it's similar, but we focus on fix and flip and buy and hold. Again, you're gonna be in a group, okay? We have over 80 people on this one. And then again, team lead, everything is well organized when it comes to the training, okay? So this is the sequence that you need to have the right strategy to build a rental empire or to do fix and flips, okay? For instance, you cannot jump into deal analysis like this module. It's module number 4 before you understand the market, okay? We show you how you need to understand top flipping markets, top rental markets, even before you start analyzing a deal, okay? Finding deals, right? So we go over all the different lead pipes for you to find deals. And first of all, we define what's a great deal, right? How do you analyze a deal like a pro? If you look at a property, most people freeze. They say, well, this property is for sale for 100, but is this a good deal? Yes or no? We show you how to do that in minutes, right? To identify great deals, and many more lead pipes that we show you how to target, how to get these properties from different lead pipes under contract, which is very, very critical for you to have the right spread on every single deal to be able to successfully flip it or buy and hold, okay? Because you need to have equity on the back end. And then contracts, it's an important topic. We go over making offers, and then we show you the different clauses and paragraphs that are critical for every piece of contract, okay, that we utilize. So we use primarily two sales contracts. The 2-page contract, it's non-invasive for sellers, and then we also use the 7.0 contract that is typically used by brokers, okay? Either one of those you've got to be familiar with. So we show you how to do that. And then funding, we spent a lot of time on funding, okay? You've got to understand all the funding sources, all the funding types, because you can get money, expensive money for the upfront purchase, but you've got to repay that either when you sell the property for a flip, or if you buy and hold, you've got to refinance to turn that rehab loan into a long-term rental loan. Okay, so we give you the resources through ChicagoDealVault in the training. And then finally, we show you, we spent a lot of time on the rehabbing. Okay, we show you how to come up with a rehab scope of work. Like for instance, we did a real deal review yesterday for a property that needed a ton of work. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So they were asking me, Hugo, how much do you think is gonna be right away, based on the square footage, 2-bedroom, 1-bath that needs everything? flooring, kitchen, bathroom, roof, siding repairs, perhaps few repairs on the windows. It was going to hit no less than 50,000. So we itemize the scope of work. So that is why it's so critical. There's so many pieces, but I just want to give you the shortcuts, how to simplify your investing career so that you get to your end goal a lot quicker. Okay, so this is just in a nutshell some of the workarounds of how you can get around these major obstacles in real estate to double, triple your income and net worth. Okay, so again, let's just quickly recap what we've talked about today. So what are the major roadblocks? But before we recap, are there any questions on the line? Tony, Robert, Peter, Mary, any questions? Any particular topic to go a little bit deeper on? Okay, so let's just quickly recap what we talked about. So these are the major issues that everyone is facing, whether you're a new or seasoned investor. Money, right? You've got to have reserves to do wholesaling, 5,000. If you're going to do buy and hold or fix and flip, you're going to need $15,000 to $25,000 in reserves. If you don't have that money, your only viable option is to partner up with somebody who's got the money. And then you're going to go 50-50 if you do flips. That is for you to raise capital, right? It's hard to do partnerships on rentals because rentals are for long-term investment purposes, and our life changes every 6 to 7 years. So it's just hard to be with somebody for the long term on a rental. So it's best to partner up on flips. You fix it up, and especially right now, this is the best time to sell properties. So partner up, you find the deal, you manage the rehab, and somebody else puts the money, and you split 50-50. So that's what a typical joint venture looks like when you don't have the money. Number two, deal. You've got to belong to a community where they like cash flow or wholesale. You meet other people, network to find a potential partner, or just get the training, right? To have the right strategy, and not only that, but have access to who are boots on the ground. They're doing door knocking, cold calling, to have a first-hand look at these off-market deals. And then for deals, you do have to have some sort of technology, whether it's ChicagoDealVault or any other type of list that contains off-market properties, probates, pre-foreclosures, upcoming auctions, shadow inventory, or REOs. That is very, very critical. And by the way, if you still don't have access to DealVault, we'll give you a free trial for the next 30 days, okay? So just send us an email to support, and then we'll give you the free access to the next 2 sessions plus ChicagoDealVault. I just want you to get off to a fast start today, okay? And then time and strategy, we want to save you time. That's an intangible, priceless asset that we possess. And the problem is that it never comes back, it disappears. So I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. I want you to leverage from everything we've done, because I don't want you to go out and try to piece it all together and waste months, years of your valuable time away from your family when you can leverage from everything we've put together for you. So I want to make sure that you make the most out of your time by engaging in the 3 activities that are going to make you money in real estate. And that is making offers, talking to listing agents, and talking to sellers. That's what's going to make you money in real estate. Anything else that you do is overhead. I understand that needs to be done, but we want to help you with that infrastructure. Okay? And the next one is contractors. Biggest nightmare for every single investor. They're hard to find. We give you access to the ones that we use in ChicagoDealVault on their preferred partners. We have about 11 of them, so you can use them, you can work with them, build rapport. People that we share through our preferred partners have been vetted, okay? Meaning that we've used them or somebody else has successfully used them, okay? So we wanna make sure that we save you time and obviously money. Are there any other questions on the line?
So the
Hello.
Tuesday 6:30 meeting and Sunday 1 p.m. meetings, are they online or in present?
Yes, so they are virtual for now. So you can send us an email, and then we'll make sure that we send you an invite for the 6:30 on Tuesday if you want to do wholesaling, and Sunday 1 p.m. For fix and flip and buy and hold. So we do deal analysis, deal reviews. Obviously, we go through different modules for training purposes, and we go through live examples. We've done live tours. So I go out to properties, or I have some of the members go out to properties, and we do walkthroughs, virtual walkthroughs, whether or in person. We've done in person as well. So extremely powerful to have access to the right community and knowledge to save you time and money, obviously.
Hugo, I have a question.
Yes.
For example, when finishing the basement, are you buying the material and just pay the contractor to do it, or you just give the whole thing to the contractor?
Oh, so we give the whole thing to the contractor. So the way it works, they go to Home Depot. I don't ever want to go to Home Depot. I hate going to Home Depot. Plus, I have no clue what to buy. I don't want them to send me to Home Depot and me buying the wrong things. It's just such a waste of time. My time is more valuable focusing on finding great deals. So they go out, they go to Home Depot primarily. They buy whatever they need. They go to the pro desk. And then they call me from the pro desk, or they send me a text. I review the order from my phone, and then boom, I approve from my phone, and then my credit card gets charged. Whatever is left over, then we return back to the store if it's unused, of course.
So you just buy the material and just pay for the labor?
Yeah, so I pay for the material with a credit card, business credit card, and then I just pay them for the labor. But they buy all the material. I just tell them, I don't want to buy the most expensive nor the cheapest, just somewhere in the middle. And they know what we like as far as trending vanities, trending colors. They understand what we like. So it's a cookie cutter mechanism. So they do the same in all properties to keep it simple.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Oh, Hugo, I was just wondering, are you planning another walkthrough event
Yes.
for the tour?
So, of course. So in fact, we're finishing up the Morton Grove property this weekend. So I'm gonna bring you guys next week for a live tour, and it's gonna be also virtual. So you can, if you're not able to come to the property, you can watch it online. So we'll do a walkthrough of the property after the rehab. Okay, so we're gonna go over the numbers. How much we pay for the property, rehab, and what the plan is for the exit strategy, which in this case is a flip.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions? So if no further questions, I do want to make sure that you are part of one of these groups, the wholesale or the cash flow group. So we have these two groups, wholesale and then cash flow. Okay, so this one focuses exclusively on becoming a deals acquisition specialist. And the cash flow group focuses on buy and hold and fix and flip. Okay, both of them, you're going to be in a team group with a team lead. It's a great community to be part of if you want to be in real estate. So you'll have a first-hand look at the deals and obviously the right strategy, because we want to make sure that we save you time and money and you don't spin your wheels and waste time away from your family that you will never get back. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're successful today, okay, that you achieve that financial freedom, and most importantly, freedom of time, so that you do what's truly meaningful in your life. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining today. Please send us an email to support@ChicagoDealVault.com, and then we'll send you the invite for free for the next upcoming meeting, and free access to DealVault for the next 30 days. Okay, so thank you for joining. I'm gonna send you my cell phone number, 773-368-4551. Should you have any further questions, or if you need to have a one-on-one conversation, anything that you need to discuss strategy-wise to set you up for success, please let me know. I'll be happy to jump on a call with you and set you up for success. So thank you everyone for joining. I look forward to speaking with you and seeing you in our next webinar or over the phone. So thanks a lot everyone for joining.
Thank you, Hugo.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Peter, everyone, Diane.
Thank you, Hugo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.